I pray you be with them all at your home. I pray you be with each one of us that we would honor you on our decisions. Forgive us for we did. Thanks, precious. Okay. Approval of agenda. Right, Lisa? Approval of the agenda.
Expire.
I make a motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Wait and ask for a copy.
Here's.
Thank you.
I'll just take those.
Yeah, that's fine.
Kind of low.
That's right. On the stage.
Maybe a lady.
We don't have a chance to.
Oh, sorry, I did not.
Still have on some.
Never mind, rush school and our candidates right in here.
There you go, right at 12 o'clock. Just talking about my behind in the whole month of filing.
It's a long time.
The when it was in February. Still. So water didn't get moved.
All right.
Just earlier.
She's got to file it, right?
She's got to file it all in the phone. Thank you. Landing to the public here, do you have anything to say? Landon, if you need anything, usually Martha has it, if you would request it from her. Appreciate it. I really don't have anything.
Well, he didn't request, he made a statement. We don't have a conversation.
Okay, well, you be nice.
Just to clarify.
Yes. Okay. I really don't have anything. My desk is lustrous. Does anybody know me? I can't. Didn't have any. We can amend the agenda.
I can,
I think we did pretty well. We covered our tracks, I think. I think it's, when I look back on stuff, I couldn't find it. This is, but we're soon going to be having a. As we get into the election. And Mary Beth, okay, I guess that's it, except for, we'll move on to director's report. Do you want to handle
I don't know what she's doing.
that? Okay, let's see if we. Read it to you. Okay. It's about the recording that we requested going live with the, okay. She said they got the digging into it. Then it's interesting. They have several different options to choose from. There's a lot of legal hoops we jump through depending on which route we decide to go. And there's two ways to go live, and that's like Landon's doing with YouTube. And then there's, we can make a page and skip the links on the county's webpage because they can be accessed anytime. We could do like the state board does and run it through WebEx. This would allow one-time login and once addition at one chance to watch it unless a copy is requested through public records. And this will also skip the link on our webpage, which I think would be good. Best quality of picture and sound and camera need to be hardwired into a room, and that would limit us to one room, and that could change. So that doesn't seem like an option. And she suggested that, and that's what I thought, with all the other things that we would be required, the WebEx would be our best way to go. She said, like, what the WebEx was fixed, it would be one wash and we're done unless you have a copy of me. The YouTube scares me a little with cost of being, and you know, I think that's pretty good. This year, because of being hacked on YouTube and being hacked in the system, that's not, yes, so that is not a safe way to go. So, well, I think we need to discuss it. If you said anything, I think Mary Beth is where she's researched.
I don't see a need to do any of it. That's just my opinion. We have minutes, we have, anybody that wants to come and listen and do whatever they want to do is fine too, but I don't know that.
Well, the sound is very bad
Mm-hmm.
on the YouTube. It's not good.
Because he's filming from over there, if we had.
But if we did that, it's the being hacked. It's not good with the Board of Elections at all.
What would be taxed?
Mary Beth is the one that said.
Okay.
She's going to come on. She's going to.
Yeah, she's been soon.
Yeah. So you want to wait? Does it?
Doesn't matter to me, that's fine.
That doesn't mean anybody else. Yeah, so everybody's welcome. You know, it's just.
But did you have a particular reason why you wanted it recorded? Or
Maybe after the sound. That and after. If you're a little bit more transparent. And so if the public knows what's going on. Yeah. And that was something maybe we need to appear to be not only to, but the film to show the truth. Things they said. Yeah. It just,
Okay, that makes sense. Sorry, I don't recall this even. I may have been in passing.
it was a little bit. It really.
We want to ask, maybe that's to look into what the different options is that what is watch for that.
Yeah.
All right.
And we're not going to. Joy gets here, so we can get this. Yeah. So then we have everything. That, I'm guaranteed. Since it's for you. Yeah, and then we could just, for sure, later, let's see. That'd be good. So we'll discuss later. Yes. Yes. Possibly postpone the decision until the next meeting.
So we just don't get the money.
And try to be here for work.
Right. We'll have to have him for approval or vote.
I thought it had to be unanimous. So we can. Yes.
Is there anybody to call him? When it comes to is he teaching today or something?
No school.
Oh, that's right.
Let's see. They were talking on channel 13 last night about out there at Western, who were taking poll place. And it had to be state board to decide because they couldn't, no one could reach that. Yeah, they thought it was.
I think the consensus in North Carolina is that there's going to be a lot of local boards in counties.
Okay. What about the legislature shortening the voting day? They talked about that, and you go through it.
What I've been told is what we can do this year. Flash like before. What they decide. And
Even if they got a decision,
yes,
they're not.
it won't. Probably.
So now, that may be right, and I may have misunderstood, but we had a hub. And they asked if the board can go ahead and decide, and if that goes through, decide again. So that led me to assume that it would go through this. So I said, I don't know.
Well, they're different.
Like I said, we had our hub. Or somebody asked that question, it's pretty soon they have to decide, and they asked if you would have to meet again and decide again, and they said, thought so that.
We had 2 Saturdays in between.
I think
So,
I think you can decide on the Saturday.
and,
You can't.
And I would probably ask my best. On the other side.
and my suggestion is 8:30 to 6:30, Monday through Friday. And then 2 Saturdays, 9.
So you have to do the one,
Yes, 8 to 3. It
the
has,
last.
okay. When I talk
And I think it has to be 8 to 7:30.
Yeah, we don't have,
Well, no, they said we could do 6:30. So we need to find out for sure on this, because we don't, right,
no,
6:30 would be perfect.
Cause I think like.
That's suggested. So we need to, one don't know. So we can find out for sure. I think that would work good if we did 8:30 to 6:30,
we very,
and then 2 Saturdays. Yes. Well, the one we can do 9, if the other one has to be at 8. And if it doesn't have to be, 9 o'clock is early enough. I think, don't you? Or not? What's your opinion on it, Gary?
okay. The second set.
Yeah.
Um, I like 9 o'clock.
I didn't know.
Maybe 1 o'clock would be.
If we can, that would be great. Because that would get the people that work 5 days a week the chance to come in. And there are people.
The only thing about an 8:30 start is that that's people work start time. If you want to work,
And some people don't.
it's either 8:30 or 9 usually, unless you are working on it. You have to.
That's why the 6:30 would give.
I really don't think. That will allow you.
I'm curious. You know, I'm
Everybody do. But it may not. So
I think,
let's get it. I think we need to find out for sure.
the legislation put that in the law. I don't think they have, let's do that.
I don't know if I can.
That was from the state auditor's office, but it could be wrong. So,
I would like to get clarification.
yeah.
I said, I would be 90% sure, but that it's 8 to 7:30. But that Saturday set, that you can do your other 2 Saturdays, if you can, however you want to do it.
Let's get clarification on that again. Then we'll go. They were wanting us to decide this. Or could we call again? So, you want to do that, Missy? Okay.
Let me step back from my phone, is that okay?
Yeah.
It's not in statute, is it? Or is it somewhere?
I think we got, I think it was a memo, number of memos.
Yeah, I think you're right, I haven't. Draw them. The very best David.
Yeah, I got.
I got it.
Well, Joey don't get here. Well, he can call me. And I was typing. Oh. Okay, I got it sent, so we'll see if he gets back. Because I said,
She said the thing that we may have a problem with. Brooke's looking for it and she's calling you on.
it's not like nose.
There's a statute, it's 163-166.4, that's early voting.
163 dash
166.4,
Does it have anything in there about the hours?
yes.
What did they say?
That last Saturday has to be 8 to 3. And that has to be open 5 days a week, continuing until at least 5 p.m. on the Friday prior of that election. It shall be open last Saturday before election. The county board may conduct early voting during evenings or on the weekends, as long as those hours are submitted as part of the plan and approved according to subsection H of this section.
Okay, so at least, so hopefully we can do 6. I would have said 6:30, 7:30. Yeah. I can see between 5 and 6:30. Yeah, when they're coming in.
Well, good morning. Okay. Before they,
there was, another in the river, there was like actually like
Yeah, there was, I remember that. So it's,
spreadsheet that showed you if you do this, can't do this. But it did explain in detail. Because we don't want to prove something and we have to do it down.
like, which,
We try to stay over Saturday or something, right?
is 24 or 22. Which I do upstairs, that,
well, just do officers. Well, like this, or if not, we would do, we wouldn't do it. We would,
yeah. Well,
we'll see.
Is 163-166.4.
Oh, that's something totally different.
I just want to show, you know.
Well, there's another document that is Democracy in City, what's required of early voting sites, and it does say 8 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. On weekdays, Monday through Friday.
That's something about it, like.
I do remember stuff. So we did the.
It says the exception to this rule is Board of Elections offices or in lieu of offices may operate on the County Board of Elections normal operating hours. So you either have the way this document reads, it's like you can choose normal business hours or the 8 to 7:30, not choose in between. But there's not a date on this. It does say that there's no other requirements for weekend voting days or hours other than that Saturday. General statute 163-166.35 does say 8 to 7:30.
Just in California where we're still waiting on results or something. 75% of voters vote by mail.
My sister was involved. And that's the only way she played it. They nailed it.
Come
I
on.
mean, talk about, opening it up or. She couldn't believe it. So,
There's a.
Okay, so I talked to John and he said that was free. It has to be 8 to 7:30. Has to be set on that Saturday, 8 to 3. The other 2 Saturdays, whatever we're doing, you can be there, you cannot, you can set the hours.
There's Saturdays down the option.
Yes, or if you do office hours, then you do the ones that. So this is the thing that they sent us from the state. We also have other things that you know, they looked at the, memo and Rick has the statute.
This is. I don't think we need to do just talks. So, no, I think we need to do 8 to 7:30. But from 8 to 9, we could back one person working early. Oh, to that part, fine, yeah. And eat, same thing. Maybe talk. Or it's 2 people, yes. Yeah. That's, I think that would be great. And then that other Saturday, and we do need it. 9 to 1. As Gary said, that get everybody.
I think those are good hours.
Then we're going to do. We're going to write this down too. We're going to do
Monday through Friday. 7 to
8. The last Saturday
before the election.
is 8 to 3. The Saturday before the last, that's good, don't you? That's reasonable.
And the Saturday before.
I think that'll get people mixed up. Now that I think, changing the hours.
No.
Well, we take it, well. I mean, 9 to 3, 9 to 1. Do you think that will get people mixed up? Should we do that? I think that's fine.
Well, if it does mention what they've got next Saturday.
Okay, which Saturday is this that we're talking about?
Okay, the Saturday before the. Okay, so it would be the 3rd Saturday. So not the rest of it on the early voting, is that right? Or there's only 3 weeks. So it would be the 2nd, yep, it'll be the 2nd Saturday.
Second Saturday, 24th. The end.
It would be 9 to 1.
And
Yeah, we are going to
It usually falls like.
a full time, I'm full.
Okay.
we done that one, right? And then that next Saturday. Is it 8 or 8:30?
And we talked about recommending to make like alter, like one comes in like
Okay,
one day. It's just I put it back.
these are on there. Both of them had to come in here.
Now, we used to really confused, but 6:30 and close to 5:30 some days. 8:30 and
Really did.
then work till 7:30 some days. We did have people pretty confused with that.
Okay, Joey's calling. It's fine.
Yep.
Let's get this done. What's he doing? Work? He didn't say I didn't.
He's one take music.
I mean, today. You can't say. It's not action. He may. Dr. Hope, you never know, Joey. The journal. Yeah, I'm trying to look at this. Here. What's that? Okay, come in.
We could, reset.
Reset. That's right. We're gonna reset. Until Joey gets.
We don't know when he's coming though.
He said he was gonna. Workshop.
Okay. At 3? Okay.
And we are recessing at 2:30.
Yeah,
So you can call him.
okay, let me try again. Let me call.
Yeah, you call. See.
Well, work out.
For now. Okay.
Yeah, time's up. We're going to just 3:15. Yeah, things for you.
Yes, I'm back in
So we're back.
meeting. And I propose that we have a meeting to the early hours Friday morning at 10 o'clock.
I'll say it.
Brenda made a motion. So do we want to, you want to adjourn now? Or we?
Yes, okay. Meeting is adjourned at 3:20. So we're on the work session. We're not gonna do work session at all today.
Well, we were going to do the board meeting.
Yeah, it's not during the board meeting.
Oh, okay.
That's not. That's separate. Yeah, we'll get for, we hopefully get it over. I have to go back home. My sister's living.
You want me to take work session?
If you want to, it might be good to, have something to go back on for you. Remind us of what we're doing. And if we don't get finished. But we've got time.
Misty, you got any suggestions, bring back?
Well, one thing I can remember, me and Mary Beth and Brooke kind of talked about maybe getting the materials out to our workers ahead of time. Letting them look over it, essentially the list. Not the materials to the workers, let them look over it so that we can go through the high points, let them ask questions. Let's see the machinery, let's see the back. So we did talk about that.
So you're talking about 40.
For training, yes. Go ahead and mail that, email that, how they want it. Things we, they're gonna work. Go ahead and ask everybody, whatever job you're doing, see in that section, judge gets the whole book, and then look over that ahead of time. By the time they come in, like, right, look over it and then have more questions, that we can look over it. You have more to deal with other things, like set up the equipment so that they can see it and work with it. But that's what I do.
Really? And give them some hints off on that.
Like I said, have the stuff here. I know one time she even set up like a whole precinct. And that way when they get there, everybody will know what it's supposed to look like. And we can do that.
For everyone. Boy, you made it just in time. Well, you're fine. We just have to recess on the, we just ended it.
And I was telling them about sending out the packet service. So that's all I did.
Okay, we meet at 10:00 Friday, so we have everybody here, we've already discussed. Yeah. I'll have it going now. That's fine. Thank you, stranger. You can try and make it work. Session, but you want to?
Maybe I saw this too.
Yeah, he could be having a liver. I'm telling you. Well, actually, how Karen was doing it, she was, I'm calling you. She's on the meeting.
She does, she did She's a girl.
She had two glasses.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna.
I don't know, I'm kind of in light from all down.
How about the mornings of that? So you said you're done talking?
I just got one part. Yeah. Like 3 minutes for walking.
This is
This is something what we just sit down and brainstorm and. Sure.
Raising your recording. That this needs to be recorded. Work. Well, it's different.
That's another.
It's not a board meeting, it's a work session.
Same thing in North Carolina.
Okay.
Okay, if there's anything that we would not want the public to know, that's what I'm saying. That's what concerns me. It's not because of emergency situations. Is we'll ask you to stop recording. Or we'll go in closed meeting. Closed session. We can do that. And we can have this as a closed session. If there's
No.
if there is, right, if there's a statute. Good.
Is that one like the closed session? That's not 163, that's a different. What? It's under something. Oh. Closed sessions?
I've taught that so many times, I believe.
She would know.
140. That's 318.
So it's saying.
To prevent the inflow of privilege or confidential pursuant or not considered a public record within of 132. Prevent the premature disclosure. That's not. It sounds like we could to prevent the disclosure of information that is privileged or confidential pursuant to the law. So we're
Pursuant.
Well, we're going to be discussing procedures, right? And we're not discussing
what are we going to do? I don't even know what we're going to be discussing. Oh, no. What are we going to be discussing?
Get some of the things that we're gonna do, we're gonna like it better than the ground.
Okay, that's all. I didn't know what this was going to be about.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Okay. What we can do.
Yeah.
And everybody else's ideas and that. So we're gonna go ahead. Okay, all right, so we sit down here in the office and we brainstorm. And so we think it would be good to have all three judges. Versus just like. That. I think if we're all three together, then we can have all three that represent all. The judges. And all three within the same frame.
That'd be good. I think that would be good instead of them not knowing.
Yeah, well, like, we try to make it easy for them by letting them pick what works best for them. And we still can do that to a certain extent, but it's gonna have to be a majority. Then that way, everybody's hearing the same thing at the exact same time, and so there's none, well, I heard this and I heard that. You know what I'm saying? I think that would be in our best interest. To have everybody attend a training together, the judges. We also talked about Missy brought up that setting up a polling place as an example.
Yeah.
So that way, and what we would do is we thought, not, we have to try to keep this so where we can keep their attention, the knowledge into their heads, but not overwhelm them. Because I mean, I have a cutoff line, we all have a cutoff line. After a certain time, it's like you don't care. So what we thought we would do on the polling place setup is maybe just set this whole room up as a poll station. And have a drop by it. They don't have to come together, they can just drop by, and if you drop by, we can get some local door prizes. I can snap pictures of how we have things set up where the posters are, where everything's displayed. How everything's supposed to look, so that way, when they get their election morning, then there's not much training. This one says, let's do it this way, or that one says, no, let's do it this way. If they know exactly how it's supposed to look, then they can just go in and set it.
You know, one thing.
Yeah.
Anybody,
Yeah, you're right. We just like, just bring that up. That's just for the precinct setup. So that's not training. That would just be like, okay, we're gonna have this room set up for like maybe a day or even 2 days. Please come by, see what your expected behavior station is looking like, eat a hot dog. You know, just come by at your leisure. So just come out and get groceries, stop by the election office and we'll walk through. How the precinct is up.
you said they could take you,
Oh, yeah.
and it would be good if you all just treated so that they could say, one could say, this is what I'm.
Yeah. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, that can go also in with our training. I would love, how we're gonna get, the thing is time and getting people. I think when we do our appointments next year, we really need to restructure the way things, instead of waiting for, do training, we try to do a smaller trainings through, so it stays fresh. You've been poll workers, what do you?
It should apply every time.
Oh, yes,
So it's not like,
no, it would be just little stuff like, maybe like, have a ticket to where they come in, okay, you get your precinct. What do you do? What do you call? How do we get it back up and running? Do you know? What, let them, and train them on it, hands on. Oh, it's different. It's just, and then like next year when we do our appointments, tell them that we will do every, I don't know, quarterly meetings or something. And do a quick little training of some sort.
we still, you guys to be part of the, this amount of training, I know, you're willing to do something like that.
Well, we can offer it today.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. If we can offer it through the day, that would be. Yeah, that would be. And here's the thing, if we've got people that's working 5, if we could just run it maybe 5:30. Depending on where they work from. You know. We also thought we would have them reporting that morning to say that they have the S200s up and running, laptops are open, and they have to report to us by 6:15.
I think it's bad either, someone was for. Who's on call. Another also.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, and that's something else we're gonna change a little, I'll clarify, because I got the state to clarify that for us a little better. Just because those doors is unlocked, it's not.
Right.
So, because of observers, once they unlock that door has to stay unlocked until the public, because an observer is allowed to watch things that person does, so they cannot go back and unlock that door. So it has to be left unlocked from the time they get there till the time holds open. So we've got to clarify any things that have to be left open, so the observers can set a process. And then polls are now open. Ballots are being processed. Voters are signing paper,
Process one way or the other.
whether it's offline, by paper, or whether it's digital. And we do have both options. So, but one way or the other, voters are going through. And maybe we let down and I didn't go over emergency procedures enough. But hopefully if they can see how the we can go over maybe a couple of emergency things. Plus we have them call and tell us everything. So the S200s turn on, and the laptops turn on. I'm not gonna make the chief judge responsible for calling or texting saying the laptops on. that needs to be. My laptop. Because I understand that you can get so much on you that day that you don't know which way you're going. So if they'll just send a simple text, I'm trying to get you, Kim's been researching, trying to figure out like if we can send something. If there's, we can set up just a number just for election day. Just send a text to, or it actually has to go on your email.
I know that you guys super busy.
Yeah.
Still with problems on election day. You had somebody responsible for saying every precinct, no issues.
Well, we're
Up and running,
Yeah.
there might be issues, but
we've kind of come to the conclusion too that this election we're not going to let in leave off. And then that way, one person can say, they've got one specific person to say, because let's just say Yancey's on the road to get something. There's things we can troubleshoot that. But yet they're here for all the check-in calls. You know, they're here for that, they're here for this.
he was trying to get a,
So instead of them actually,
cell phone and just do a,
no, but we're trying to figure out if we can get just.
or.
I know that would be fine. That wouldn't be. Obviously. Or we're somewhere that we ain't got the text message or the phone. So yeah, that would, we talked about that too. And then that way on election night, when it check in, if we're not also somebody else to check in, like, it'll just be in. So we'll be utilizing the work.
And should we, as a board, and I know we all decided, I think collectively, that it's not decided for us to go out in case we have to resolve a conflict at some later point in the day, or there's an election protest again or whatever. Can we come here and be of any help to you in the office as far as?
Well, somebody's.
Yes.
Somebody else, there's nothing wrong with science and visiting.
Unless you have to testify later.
Right, we don't want to get in the middle of anything. But you can go visit precinct. And that is our job, because I'm told that I have visited every. And they said, that's what you're supposed to do. So that is no problem. We should be doing that. But I will get. Polling place should be.
They have to be clear about that. Yeah, they have to have it anyway.
So we discussed, and we have done this the night before.
Mm-hmm.
And about should we be at there? Oh, if you're all over open, and then that's been one for you be there. Well, there's every 7.
You could probably 5.
If you were
4.
But if you went at 6:30 and you got somewhere before 6:45, which you could do, like resting to see out there, could do that.
Yes.
And at 6:45, it becomes a stable work, and we can bring it back and up to okay, right? That's the notify. If you're more than 15 minutes.
But then we have to notify them and notify them. Because we have a hotline that day, or we submit all. That's just, it's an internal thing with just the first election. It's not a public thing.
But like they said at the state board at that hearing, that the public needs a number that they can contact, and if that's you all.
Well, they can contact you. The public has the right to do anything.
You know, and honestly, that's on the wallpaper, but there, it's not large, but it's not hard. But somebody would have to like, people, you know, really, yeah, ask for it, or we can have people call here. For the number.
Sorry, guys.
That's gotta go outside.
So, that is it. But I guess it's not, but it's later. It's always been there, it's required, or the law requires. Regulations. So,
And that's maybe something the chairman of each party. What you need to be looking for. Were you there when it opened? Was there any discrepancy? And if you see if they see a discrepancy, and say, hey, this precinct isn't been noticed, or whatever. Or hey, they're not, whatever. Might be. I mean, that's why they're observing, not sit there quiet, not say anything, they see something, right?
well, they don't have to sit there quietly anymore. So they get to kind of participate, as long as they're not impeding the election process. With that being brought up, means, I have to go around the idea of having an observer trainer and open it up to both parties. To the point, to where we say, okay, when you get there, you say, this is what's supposed to be. This is the things that you should be looking for. This is how our day, this is how our day starts. This is what, just a single block. So that way, number one, that might have chief judges, where they're not bombarded with questions that day, because we give them the answer to any questions that they might already have, so that might help smooth up their day some. But then that also gives your overall public a little more election knowledge. And the more election knowledge you can get floating out there and get the correct information circulating, the better off we all are. The way, because that cuts out a lot of assumptions. I see somebody take something out of a blue bag and move it to a red one. Well, this is what the red bag is. This is what it has in it. Does not contain ballots, but they don't know that. So if we tell them, this is what this is, it takes a lot of assumptions out. Sure. Yeah. So we can throw that around and,
Are we both? Like if for some reason, say, one of the two were. And, I mean, worst case scenario, and the fourth. So what, you notify the board of elections then? Oh, no, never happened.
way more efficient than election day, aren't you? I guess it could, but there's one good thing about that, doesn't have things everybody's minds, the workers, have to open these doors. So they know how to open the phone. And one extension unlocks 4730 for business. So 7:30 to 3:30. So our workers are here at 7:30, they would always be there.
He called me.
Yes. So they can access it. That's another reason. Is so that way.
This year took just before 5. I thought it won't be that long. The only thing we can do, okay, we need to do we need to have stuff on early. And we will have it until Friday, 10, but if you can come on, I don't think there's a problem. Did you close out the meeting or did you close it? We can't do it. Friday, 10 o'clock. You heard from it. You cannot.
These don't have to be in until July.
Phone me. Okay, we'll do it then, but you have to be available. Okay. That's okay. I understand.
And if something happens, it's not happening until July. So, yeah. Okay, we also thought maybe that we would have them reporting after they have their time set up. Because we now, what time we're going to get from home. We're sitting there waiting at their mercy. Because they just get taken over and we never have them call us. Let's, what time you're going to be setting up that way. If, I mean, like this guy sitting up around here, we were in Sunday and we're in, because go out there and somebody didn't have tables, go out there and somebody didn't have chairs, go out there, I mean, it was little stuff, but still, it's stuff that would postpone election morning. So it's better to set up on Monday night, but we also thought that we would have them call in a week ahead of time and say, this is the time that we're planning on setting up. And also, they have to call us, they call us when they're done. We know everything's in. Yeah, they already do that, we're pretty good on that. That one's good. It's just if they'll let us know what time they're setting up. But we get ahead of time. Heading up the team, have you make sure you can get into the building. So that's kind of another check on that. So, let's see. Oh, that's just little stuff. Didn't get done this last time, I didn't have a deal. Like if they're blanket spread so bad, looks like we're back in the wrong place. We literally wrote down everything.
Is that precinct specific as far as you know which precinct or something?
No, but we are going to make that, Ian's working on an Excel, working on an Excel spreadsheet right now, that we will be logging. We'll have a place to write precincts. We'll have a place to write the time that they call in, the problem that they call in, and we'll initially and talk. So that way, if we ever get in a position with an election protest like we did before, and we'll have one that's specifically election, and then we'll have one that is throughout the day and then one.
I'm talking about, like, okay, say, Brush Creek didn't bring their stuff back and they didn't have it sealed, they didn't have, you know which precinct really. Yes, that's that.
Most of the time, yeah.
Okay.
We,
And to address it,
because from notes supposed to come back. And it is a ballot issue, as in the voting ballots not being sealed. Something being sealed in with the voting ballots will make all three judges back in here. The seals is cut that night. Misty and I did not touch that. That is not touched unless there's recounts until after the week. Unless there's recounts or to that extent. We do not open up those voting ballots. So we make them. They don't have an option. And that's my own way to do it, isn't it? And then Brooke also said that they would like to have a troubleshooting guide just laying out on the desk. Just like, okay, the machine is beeping. What can we do before keep it off of you? Something simple that we can handle, and if it's not some of these simple things, then we know. So they mentioned that when our election mornings, I don't know what the status of the laptops and the DS200. Because as long as those two are working, it's not an excuse that they can't vote. This is time too. Like if it's price is free, or if it's virtual, then we can get there really quickly in time. An instruction sheet to accompany the absentee abstracts that you all deliver. How many phone calls did we get that said, what do I do? What do I do with this? So was that you that brought that up? I think it was Missy that mentioned. Just a quick instruction sheet. This is the absentee. This is the absentees. You need to post one at the door, and then you sit down at the machine and give a quick instruction. It's in there. But then digging for it and actually come attached to it, probably try to do it for it. Just make sure that everybody knows, all poll workers know that your first call will be to this office. And then call the state. And then we get people calling other people and things don't flow good. Then that's when we get them. Because that was really pretty bad about in their last training last week. Was strict, really strict. And if you get a call, no matter, even if you don't want to make it, don't answer it. No. Just let it ring. Hit ignore.
But I'm saying if you get a call, whether it's 15 minutes later, 20 minutes later, if you don't want to keep the polls open, call the state. It'd be better. Oh, we have to. Don't. That's not an option for us. The zero tapes, those tapes are for everybody to see. We had a problem this time. One of the judges wouldn't allow other judges to even look at the results tape or the zero. So that is something, the zero tapes is something that the public, that observers can actually see. And so is the results tape. So we gotta be sure that we have that. We don't have to try talking to them. No, but they can see. And they're not allowed to take pictures of it. But they can see. And who mentioned the supply? Supply inventory that is on top of the back. We have a problem on election night. On election night, when it gets returned back, they throw everything in everybody. So they kind of thought that it was on the inside. A list of everything that was in. We actually got this in there. We've had it. It's just not attached to that back. They're again like the absentees. Maybe we can simplify stuff instead of stapling it in a packet and send it out. But it would send it exactly specified piece of equipment or whatever. So we were thinking about making a list, laminating it, and then letting them have a dry erase marker so they can check off what they put in there. Comes back in here, swap it. So we did think about that. That would have changed in the night when it got back in here.
If that's your bag for your station, you need to repack it. And I think that's one of the reasons that everything in the world gets thrown in there. They're just throwing wherever they can get a bag, and but that way is that person, and you told them that.
Yeah. If you do that, then they'll allow us to think. Well, I think too, if that's doing the three judges training together, all three of them is here in this state app. And it might place a little click. It might click, but it also might say, whereas, and here's the thing, I'm human, and that's the reason I done slides this time versus not. I would say there have been times that I have to wonder this. So for my thing, I done slides to make sure that didn't happen. It's primary, but still, again, you know, I think if they're together, and when they're together during the training, I would like to do troubleshooting to where. So used to, you know, and you can be good at that. If, I mean, time wise, sometimes I know it's not. Well, and with BC and we discussed that too, maybe offering a day, like a training session day for you guys. And we can, like, if you wanted to come in at a time, you wouldn't have to post it as a meeting. We could just sit down and we could quickly say, okay, this is what we're, this is this. And then that way, we instead of trying something that and you know, but it'll be good. You can't answer questions about the slides. So remember, ignore. Unless you can't answer questions about the slides, if somebody calls you on election day, you can answer before election day. Just, I wouldn't do it on election day. Yeah, that's it. Ignore your friend. So that's just a check-in. That's the same thing. All right, so we were like, oh, she told you about this emailing or mailing or having them pick up their training information first. That way they go to review it. And if they have questions, they can come to training the questions. We will still go over a little bit of everything. But that will keep us from having to go as in depth and the training shorter. And for people like Ray, I love these questions. That'll help Nancy and I too, because they get it and they sit down and go through it, and then they look at me here and ask questions. They're really good. I
appreciate questions. I love people that bring in questions. It's just sometimes we can also have so much on one time at next term. So if we met first at about 2 to 3 weeks before trainings, they've got time to go over it. And we can clarify stuff for them that night. They can come with their questions in hand. So hopefully that will probably help. And we've done this for a couple of years and I don't think people got it. But, you know, I always assign jobs. We assign jobs according to who we think is the best for a computer. Who's the best for validating as well? Who's the best? We didn't win that. They're alternating throughout the day. Can't do that, but train for that station. You need to be working at the station that you train for. So I'm wondering if that's where some of our training is coming in as well. Because I trained at the battle station, but I was over doing provisional. And then we get provisional.
I've seen,
Yeah, you don't swap.
but I've never seen Asian folks.
Oh, well, I think alternate. See, the thing about this is we train, check in, check in. Provisional trains, provisionals. Ballot station trains, ballot station. We don't cross train nobody. But there's usually 2 people per dog for a reason. Because either way, you still got that job covered. But if you're coming from provisionals and you're going to check that provisional computer, the way you enter that information is totally different than what you check. It's totally different. So I'm wondering if it's like one of our provisionals, we're having a lot of our information that on provisionals not come back correctly. I'm wondering if that's why when we do have 2 precincts working together at a ballot station that they don't know where to check on there to see what ballot they're getting and one party's getting another party ballot. Or you've got agent and range talent together and when they get up there, they don't know where to check on that HTV form to see if it's an O3 ballot or an O4 ballot. Yes, they're exactly the same, other than for our reporting. But our reporting has to say, Egypt got this many votes, Ramsey Town got that many. Well, we're usually off by one, and every precinct that's combined, we'll be off. But if it's off by one, then Ramsey Town gained one. So, but if you're coming from the second station, you wouldn't train that. You don't know that. So we get to reiterate and make sure that sticks. And we always do bipartisan teams. We never have one party working together at each station. We always have Democrat.
They just put it in the wrong.
No, machine will take it. Machines take that ballot and it's a one, it's like you've got 2 ballots. You've got 2 ballots and Ramsey County ballots. And they're not looking at that ATV form to see what the number is in the canon. So if you didn't have that training, you don't know what's up. So you just like, oh, I can hand out ballots, all I gotta do is go back there and sit down and hand them out. There's so much work there. There's some, we got to make sure, and I'm wondering if that's what's happening. So we're gonna make sure, all member years, we talked about doing new cohort orientation and judge orientation. Well, basically judge, you judge orientation. To where that they're aware of setting up the week before. And that way we know early if they decide it's not for them. Versus waiting until we get the month before an election. Then they decide, oh, well, I didn't know I was gonna. It required this much work, it required trainings, it required, but which they don't, we do something fun with them so we can get them to come in. But I think that orientation training, just the orientation would be a good thing. To let them know what. That's an appreciation.
They really appreciate it.
And they enjoyed it, and we had a bigger participation this past, in 25 than I think we've ever had. We had a lot of people, so hopefully next year we're really. And I would like to eventually get it to where we can extend it to all workers as well. For those that. Because that might help us having versus such a turnover from new ones to new ones. Turnover is just like anything with a job. It's there. Yeah, it's there, but it's better if you can't. It's better if you don't sometimes. So, that's not bad. You didn't have anything that will help us.
You've done a pretty good job. Until we got into it.
One of the judges hearing, I know, she left her cell phone. Because she had silence in her cell phone. You said she left it.
So we ever, that workers are allowed to have cell phones. They have to have it.
So like. You
Okay. Okay. I didn't even hear that.
You know, it's scary.
it was the, I think the girl, uh, Jack's crew.
I had that interest. And it's not saying you can't carry yourself on the end, but
You didn't use it.
you're just not supposed to. The public is not supposed to.
And really and truthfully, other than contacting board of elections,
Yeah.
they sit there on their phones all day.
I can't do. So he's the entire end, with all the elation. Yeah, they did. Someone.
But they couldn't meet them in an emergency.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because, you know, we have the. With. Anyway. Shame that like. Perhaps. All the places I've seen. Yeah. They've got them saying they're gonna tell her or something.
I just wanted to, like, I remember when I was a magistrate, we had a bat, we did. That's what we called the ones.
They still call it. Commercial police party.
For that use. And that way, guys, too, they're not relying. Chief Judge speaking. One of the workers speaking, he had
A precinct phone.
I'm just wondering what that cost would be.
To where you wouldn't paying a plan, paying for a yearly plan, you would just, it would be like a burner phone. You would just activate it a week before the election and deactivate it the week after. I don't know, I can talk to Brandy and see if Brandy, yeah, not get rid of them, just have to store them here.
And maybe points about, I can't connect to watch. I can't.
Sheriff's office to T-Mobile, because T-Mobile offers the satellite service. You don't have to have a tower.
That's what now?
It has satellite service. It works off of, what's the satellite?
Starlink.
Starlink. It has a Starlink. So it's mobile, they have to pay for it, but I don't know if we have to pay. Since the sheriff's office, I think it's all the way, I know they were trying it out to see how their service was down. That would be, like I said, where the flood happened, and all the towers went down, it would be communicated. Because they don't have that satellite. So if we can do that with that satellite service, we wouldn't have to worry about it.
US Cellular was switched over.
Yes, the county Verizon. All county services is Verizon. So that's the reason,
Mine
but
says,
you don't want,
mine says T-Mobile.
US Senator. US Senator.
Yours still says?
I feel business.
Isn't it?
T-Mobile, you can't call to the satellite unless you use the WhatsApp. That's more finicky.
But we can text.
Yeah.
That's better than that. Because honestly, when we're just text is all we have to do. Because all you do is text 911.
So they still have little, this is so, in the dark ages, I guess, but you could go to like Walmart.
And put minutes on it.
You didn't have minutes on it, so you didn't have to
It's
have.
like, it's called, no, it's something different now. Walmart.
Cricket.
I'll take the cricket thing through DSS. I think cricket is let's take provider phone.
No, you, it is a.
Straight talk.
Straight talk, that's what I'm trying to think of, yes, so it's straight talk. That Walmart offers, and then you have to go get a card, you know, that would be an option. Then you have to out and buy phones, that's where they get.
They got
Yeah.
over $20 a phone right now.
Oh. Okay. Oh, sorry. So we can go $20 a phone and then just buy cards and activate them.
Maybe, I mean, it may be expensive, you don't wanna.
Well, I'm not excited. That's just the thing. I have to remember that a lot of people know this, but I don't know. I know Mitchell County does. I know Avery County. It's just,
Yeah, I get it.
yeah. But
It might not be that big of a deal.
but at this one time, we only have polling locations. If we just had one in every polling, that would just be purchasing nine. And one here for them to call to. But that would keep our personal phones out of the. The fire department's RTs for there. The one that there's, we're changing. Do you want me, the only fire chief there, the only person that has anybody there is always changing. Stop by. And work, so he's there. That's what I was. I don't. Want you. Doesn't want anybody. We had to show them. Photos and stuff and the
Voice might be something to look at. They use their own cell phones, but you just family that turn somebody's cell phone into just that phone for that election day. If the county already has a contract with Google, then that might be
What is it?
Google Voice. Like I have my phone, it's personal phone, but then my work phone is also my phone, but it's a different phone. And they could all three judges can share a number. So it would ring all three phones, theoretically, for all that precinct. It would probably be like $12 for that 1 month. Just about a month, but they might offer something else for county side of that. Might check.
Thank you.
Definitely do the satellite thing, but so they'd still have the internet.
I have to say, I think the cell phones are just getting the power this up.
Finally.
Not that, but if you're on US cellular, not that. It's gotten worse.
Well, I sort of say. Okay, what's this? So let's say, phone next phone.
Last one. Inside the house, inside the shop.
You're working off the Wi-Fi here at home.
Yeah, I'm sure about that, other than we're underneath, I can see the power. It's always enough, but it goes right over there. I have no sense. Not rising on the cellular, no, none of it. So I have to. Or anyway. Okay, any other thoughts, ideas?
We're not complicated, doesn't it?
It gets worse every day. It does, it gets worse every day.
We had more changes before.
Probably will.
We do, it's ever changing. It's ever changing. I think.
You're making some changes.
Because it continues to show, it continues to change.
Have we heard from any judges or chief judges?
Nothing. Nothing from nobody. We've got, well, let's say, we set that deadline for the, everybody had a name.
Or
To have the folder.
Figure it out. Done by. Nine. No, no.
July 31st.
And then that gives us time to do our mail in. Their paperwork. and that kind of stuff before we start trying. So.
Here's everybody who wants to change their mind from time and place.
About the.
I don't know how you train judges to be kinder. I think that's an issue. I don't know how you address that or present it, but every voter has the right to be treated equally and fairly. And they just need to make sure that they're, I mean, that's not gonna happen.
I understand actually all that. I heard her say that. It's in the presentation that we're all working together and that we're all, and I try to make. A party field system.
Not us against them.
It's not a party, but it's not a election. It is one entire precinct goes down, you take the entire county with you. This entire county goes down, and we take Mitchell County. We go down, us Mitchell Madison starts going down, it takes the entire state down. This is a working mechanism. We have to all pitch in and realize that this is a wheel. And there's cogs in there, and we're all part of that cog, and if that one cog gets broke off, together with the rest of them, then we're all, everyone else. Because I mean, it puts doubt. One cog gets broken, and then there's doubt in the entire, you know, there's doubt. There's, and then there'll be questions. Okay.
I don't remember having an election for 2017. Have you reached points that people are being fairly or bluntly? I had complaints about people being hate to voters. Again, I don't want to sit here and point fingers at anybody, and it's not. I'm sure it happens on both sides. I'm sure it does.
Yeah, we complain the guys.
But
Yeah.
and I know everybody's not like it.
And even like, you know, in the office, I know you are pushed. And that's hard. And, you know, I've had complaints.
They get their head bit off or something.
Yeah, and that's.
I guarantee it would be.
So it's a whole. It's all you know, we've all been short times. I almost think that makes.
That's another time of this is where I go.
You are. See, that's a good thing. That's the best thing.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm go.
Let's make it so something for.
This is where you go.
I had 6 eyes on the door, a woman coming in. She was mine. Shut the meeting for the sign on the door. Nice. Right, it's like 6 on the, so. But you said, did you think I'm really say that? She really does.
flashing street signs. Not here, not going to get back.
Or that bit.
There's a lot of extra spread, you know, in this office and how it can be subdivided into complex.
It can, and understand.
It is.
I honestly think that's one of my biggest downfalls. Because I'm like, seriously, you did not know. I mean, come on. Oh, so, you see why I have that office in Seattle?
I do have one question.
I was thinking the same thing.
You're cold.
I'm sure. It is a little bit. From the step down.
I was a here. I was not, I had an eye doctor's appointment.
Just smile. I'm still.
Anything else? Is there a way to attend the conference virtually?
I don't think so.
Why do they have that option?
They either do it virtually or in person. Yeah, they try to do it over the way.
Are you talking about Greensboro?
I think I'm gonna have a conference.
Well, the thing about it is you're required to have so many in 2 years. I think you may have that. Or what you're supposed to, everything, you know, this whole, what is it? You have to have attend one training.
Yeah,
It's even that.
you got to attend one training within so many months when you were appointed.
Yes. Yeah. I know. There's no. I'm a kid. I mean, smart.
Usually.
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna have a conference.
But
They're going to send you have to do that.
they are.
And then they have the presentations online after. Okay, that's, okay. I don't want to, I'll make something work, I can probably come for part of it. I know that you've already paid for me to go, that's the part, I just don't.
Well, the room has not been paid for, it's just being reserved. We don't pay until that, after we check out. We pay this for a credit card. So I can cancel it to, I think, 24 hours before we go. Your, registration fee, I think there's a time, I think there's a that I can cancel it and get a refund. And I think even up until right before the conference, you get a partial.
Check on him.
Yes.
Okay. It was just, I committed to helping Lane, and I leave on Wednesday on a trip, and it's just, that was the time.
Yeah.
I can't be, we can't get it if I have to be in free.
I know, so the procedure that. And not. But other than that, I wouldn't have been able to.
And honestly, the last few conferences I've been to, I haven't learned a darn thing.
I think after you go to some meeting, I think after you go to some meetings are negative.
The winter, some. And some stuff that was repetitive. Yes, me too.
If you can find
I didn't think it was fine.
Yeah, I have this thing in there. I don't know that it has every month. But it has their slide.
Yeah, and like you said, not anything that we need.
You'll hear about it. So, yeah. Yeah, because the board members, you have certain trainings and we have certain trainings. We couldn't go to yours and just come back. Which is great. Take it to work. But, like I said, I think there's a, for the registration, there's a certain time you can get a full, or you can switch names.
We said Landon.
I can be bored for 2 days. Come on, we're. Really, on the side of my house, we are a lot, 2 miles away from. So we might do it like a car, she's safe. We've been known to do it before.
But I don't want to go back to phone.
And leave somebody.
No.
We've been following sometimes nobody can breathe. No, that's. I don't like that one. Yeah, the parking lots. Walking.
Okay.
At Bonefish?
Yeah. But we was walking from the motel and we throwing down the mountain. And it wasn't in the mall parking lot. It was like parkway, long to that.
Where we had to wait forever and ever. Food. One of the waiters dumped a bunch of glasses and shouted on.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of a disaster.
Trouble there.
Yeah, we did that. Hard. I do. No. You're not recording anymore. And then we. And then we ended up on a 3-hour drive. I love you.
It was something factory, because we heard, I don't remember which one it was, we tried our best to go when we got down there, and it kept trying to hit us up the down ramp.
And we never did get there, just somewhere that would have been bad.
GPS and stuff. That's the factory.
We were sardines in the back. Yeah, you were right. You were.
It's probably not the best to take one thing.
That's when we said we would not.
Ever, did they? Yeah, that's when we decided that was not a good idea.
That's
We were like sardines. Jeremy and,
Put it all on anything.
Mary's never dropped.
She said it 3 or 4 times.
pretty bad. Right.
You have a good time with it. You did find the song fingers.
Hey, finally, Goodwill store. You're wrong.
Send them in, amazing. Yes. Please let me out of game and just go on to whatever you want to do. Come back and get her down and get close and send her. Just patiently fight. Percent of word. Goodness, a lot. We need to at least make it one more minute, so hard they can get it on the memory. I don't know, we like, we're in Hampton for supper tonight. Forever. Forever. That's where. You did get into fire ants. I came back from England before where there was like grass, and I sit down and I put it. I had those things, I had that place thing for months. Oh. It's my mind.
Well, so far. No, yes, we've had some memories. We've had memories.